The calling to generosity can take on many different forms. And I've talked to people who care about a wide array of causes. They care about humanitarian issues. They really care about helping advance the mission of their churches, their places of worship. They care about supporting certain kinds of educational establishments, all sorts of different kinds of things. Research, medical needs, medical care, healthcare for different audiences and stakeholders. It goes all over the place. And then there's one kind of generous giver that just fascinates me so much. And I've come across a few of these individuals over the years and how they think about their giving. And in order to illustrate it, I'm going to tell you a story that I experienced a number of years ago. I was working at a university and I was pretty new. And I was sitting in the library where there was something called Books, Bagels, and Coffee, the BBC. And I was sitting down there doing a little bit of work, and I was thinking about a project that I really wanted to move forward. It was something that did not exist in the world at the time, and I thought that it could really bless and benefit people. And I didn't see anyone else doing it. It was an unmet need out there. And so this person walked up to me, and he was a veteran at the institution, and he was a wonderful mentor advisor for me. And he said, "Hey, what are you thinking about? What are you doing?" And he just sat down and we had a conversation. And in the process of talking, I disclosed to him this thing that I was thinking about. I hadn't talked to anyone else about it. I don't think he'd even told my wife about it at this point. And he listened and he asked questions. He showed genuine interest. And then he said something that was so simple and profound. He said, "Well, Bernard, if you don't do this, who will?" I don't see anyone else addressing this problem. It is a problem. You've identified it. You've figured out a plan on how to solve the problem. You have the capability to solve the problem. If you don't do it, who's going to do it? It's not like there are thousands of people out there in the world trying to tackle this problem right now. It's an unmet need. And who knows, but maybe you were called for such a time as this, that phrase of Mordecai to Esther, if you know that biblical reference. And it really struck me because he was completely right. This is not something that a lot of other people cared about. It was a real need. I was pretty well positioned to do something about it, and so I did it. So what does this have to do with generosity? Well, I have come across a number of generous people who embrace the vocation of giving and generosity, using their resources to bless and benefit others. And a handful of people that I've met over the years approach their generous giving in this way. They want to identify unmet needs. Now, there's something really valuable about just consistently, regularly giving to a cause that you care about, and there are thousands of people that contribute to that one cause, and collectively you help make it happen. That is wonderful, and that is needed. That's incredibly critical. Those organizations will not exist in the future without that kind of generous giving. And yet there's this other kind of generous giving where you're just looking and keeping your eye open for needs that are unmet and needs that a lot of other people aren't addressing. And maybe you're looking for people who care about that need, but they might even be a little bit of a lone ranger. They're still trying to build a team or a group to focus on and rally around it and make it happen. And I've come across some generous people who love investing in and supporting and giving to those kinds of causes. They love the idea that their financial resources can be used to do something that no one else has done before and that's really needed. It might have some risks, has some benefits and downsides, but it's really needed. And that's something that I'm leaning into as I think about my own vocation of generosity. How can I use some of my resources to invest in those small and sometimes big projects that can really meet an unmet need? And I just don't see anybody else doing it or caring about it or paying attention to it.